Now it is the Monaghan Centre of Excellence, of course sponsored by Integra, that we find ourselves here this evening. We're previewing the Senior Championship with us here in Monaghan. We've already heard from the Scottstown camp. Now let's hear from the Clontibret camp. I'm joined on my left-hand side here by the captain, Brian Greenan. I have a member of the management team, John McEntee, and of course a member of the club committee as well, Frank McManus. If memory serves me right, Secretary Frank, is that right? That's right indeed. I'll get the words firstly of Brian alongside me here first. Big day for all involved in the club. Brian, looking forward to a county final?
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a couple of years since we've been there, so yeah, everyone's really looking forward to it.
And coming through the front door, I suppose, a big plus as well for any team in Championship?
Yeah, I suppose we were lucky enough this year. We got over a couple of very tight battles anyway, but got over the line at the end of it, so it's nice to get through without any big injuries or anything like that, so we coped well.
You coped well. I know if people were looking maybe in depth into it, they'd see league form was there. Sometimes it can be hard to carry that over into Championship, but you've done that.
Yeah, we set our stall this year to get a good start in the league and get points on the board early, so we could really focus on Championship later on in the year, and it worked out well for us. And yeah, we carried on well into the early rounds of the Championship, so hopefully you can keep it going.
Of course, indeed. The management team, as I say, John alongside me here. John, I noted there with Brian, league, I suppose people will take it and approach it in different ways, but if you're getting performances and getting results in league, that builds confidence.
Yeah, it does, of course, particularly given last year was a difficult year for the club. We just about avoided relegation, so we needed to build a bit of confidence within the team, and that's what the league's for, about building confidence, So we got ourselves well established and enabled us to focus down on the Championship this time of year.
And what a Championship journey it was as well. It's hard to recall back to Castleblaney and that night, and one of the first penalty shootouts that we've seen here in the county as well, and all the excitement that came with it.
Yeah, it was certainly unusual. I think it was maybe only the second penalty shootout. There was one prior to that.
Prior to it, wasn't
yeah,
it?
But you know what? It adds for a wee bit of spice. There really isn't a lot between the top teams in Monaghan. The kick the ball between us and Carrick, kick the ball between us and Ballabay. True are the same between them and Scottstown. So Monaghan's a very, very competitive competition. It
is indeed, but I suppose that makes it all the more worthwhile then when you get to a county final as well. You've got there on merit.
Absolutely. We're there on merit surely. We're the first team to make it there, and we're very pleased with the progress thus far. We've gone in as underdogs, and we make no bones about it that Scottstown's a very strong side. They've been the best team in Monaghan now for quite a number of years, and they're starting to come into form at this time, the right time of the year. So we've our work cut out, but we're there and we're happy to be there.
Indeed, and why not? Frank, you've been there through the good and bad with the club as well, and I was looking back up there, I think it was 2014 indeed, when you didn't cause a surprise, but it surprised many when you took McDuffie home.
Absolutely, yeah, we look back with a little bit of pride in 2014. We know what we're facing on Sunday, Sean. We're facing the best team in Monaghan over the last decade, and they're in their 7th consecutive county final. And they're going for 5 in a row, and if we hadn't nicked that one from them in 14, they'd be going for 7 in a row. And they make up 1/3 of the starting 15 of the Monaghan County team, so we know exactly what we're facing on Sunday.
Yeah, but you're coming in, and I noted it there, on form for yourselves as well, and as I noted, coming through the front door in the Championship is always a big thing as well.
Well, it is. The back door obviously has its benefits when it comes that way, but everybody wants to go the front door. It means less games, less chance of injury. You have more time to keep your boys on the training field and sharpen them up in between matches and things like that. So, first door is preferable, but once you're in the county final, it doesn't matter how you got there. It's all about winning it, and that's all that matters.
Indeed, that's what the focus will be on. Brian, for yourself, what's the build-up this week going to be like? Well, you have had a 2-week build-up, I suppose, but this week in particular, and being captain of the side and stuff like that, does that put added pressure on the shoulders, or do you just look forward?
No, we look forward to it. I suppose we didn't actually know who we were playing, so last week was it was kind of a bit vague what way we were going about it. But this week we'll probably focus a bit more on Scottstown, obviously, but not really much more pressure on me. There's plenty of leaders within the squad, like Vinny and Manzi and them boys, so I think it's pretty even. We have a lot of county men, a lot of good experienced players, so I think we'll all just we know we've been here before, so yeah.
I was just going to say, you've been there, you know what the big day is about and stuff like that.
Yeah, we have. So I suppose we haven't been here in a few years, but we kind of know what the big days are like, and we'll try and ease our way into it and hit the ground running on Sunday.
I just come up through Clontibret on the journey up, the flag's up, the
Yeah.
bunting is out. It's been a few years from we've seen that, so I'm assuming that adds to the excitement to it and the anticipation of it.
Okay, it does. It's always nice to see them up. They're only up this time of the year, and they're only up if you get to a county final. So I suppose it does add to the excitement of it, especially for the spectators and the community as well.
It does indeed. John, how important was the 2-week break, and more importantly, how important was it to get to see Scottstown in action at the weekend there in their replay?
Well, we know Scottstown very well, and they've known us very well. We played each other twice in the league already. I suppose they've seen us in action in Castleblaney a few times. We've seen them in action in Clontibret a few times. I suppose what we've seen at the weekend was the real Scottstown coming through. Maybe prior to that, given the bad conditions, maybe they had an on-the-par performance. So it was important from the perspective that there's no complacency when you've seen what they're capable of for the weekend.
Yeah, indeed. The 2-week break obviously gives you an opportunity, I suppose, to monitor and take care and look after injuries. There was no fear of anyone maybe picking up a knock or stuff like that. The upside of that then from Scottstown, they're coming in off the back of a championship game, so they could be hitting the ground that wee bit quicker then?
Yeah, listen, it suited us because we had time to prepare and we've had time to notch any injuries. So we are coming in injury free, and that's a big plus for us. Equally so, it suits them because it gives them an extra game to get prepared for championship football, and they come in, as you see, on the bounce. So there's pluses and minuses either side. As Frank said already, once you're in the final, it doesn't really matter how you got there.
Indeed, it's not. That they're all about winning. And the big thing about it as well, and I noted there, Frank, and no doubt you're involved maybe in flags and bunting and all going up, the colour and the excitement it brings to the local area. And I noted it when speaking to Scottstown as well, particularly for the younger people that are growing in anticipation of the big day and the excitement that's involved with it.
Absolutely, Sean, and it's all about the young people coming up, and that's what we are trying to do, to keep the young fellas interested in the game, and they have their heroes on the team, and to see the bit of excitement that comes along with county final day, just gets them involved, and it's great buzz for the community, and the football club is a great binder within the community, and it's a focal point within the community, and we like to be part of it.
Indeed, and why not? I suppose I can't go by without asking, what does the McManus household be like on the build-up to a county final?
It varies. There's the odd bit of crack, there's the odd joke, there's the odd bit of tension, things like that. It varies from day to day. I don't suppose it's much different from any other house where there's footballers involved and club officials and trainers and managers and things like that. But it's part and parcel of it, I've been at it 25 years. I think it's my 11th or 12th county final getting ready for, so it's just another day.
Another day. It's like Christmas maybe arriving all over again, so it is. They'll be hoping to get the present of Mick Duffy indeed when it comes Sunday. Clontibret, the last one to stop Scottstown. Can history repeat itself? Is Clontibret taking on Scottstown in the Greenfield Foods Senior Championship final with us here in Monaghan?